Hello, I'm Sean Lott, and welcome to Argumental, the show where the hottest names in comedy debate the biggest issues facing mankind. Issues like, should all gypsies travel by Dodgem car? They invented them, they can use them. Why are most films shit? And is Nando's just KFC for people who can use a knife and fork? Here to argue such burning issues are our teams. In the red corner, Captain Sean Walsh and his guest, Jack Whitehall. And on the blue team, Captain Robert Webb and his guest, Chris Ramsey. OK, let's start with round one. Tonight, the subject under discussion is America. Big cars, big buildings, big knockers, big guns, big fat heads, big crowds, quite big bloke, big mistake. Big notice boards, big numbers, big mess. Big pole. But the issue I want the teams to argue over is this. The USA has had its day. Opposing the statement and arguing that the USA has not had its day, it's Chris Ramsey!
Hello. Breast implants, fast food, lap dancing, automatic handguns, the slanket, lube. They are just some of the beautiful gifts that the USA have bestowed upon the rest of the world, right? Has it had its day? Not by any means. What do we do this summer? We watch two people perpetuate a crumbling monarchy. What do the Americans do? Just ended terrorism. Thank you very much. They killed Osama bin Laden. It was brilliant, proven once and for all that you can run, but you cannot hide. Well, you can't hide for a bit. For a little while. Not loads, not ages, for a while, but sooner or later, we will get you. Right? So you go and hide, mate, you go and hide, right? And we'll count to 10 years, and then... and that's it, and then we're out. But I'm telling you, they have ended terrorism. They have solved terrorism forever. They have, because as you know, as we all know, when you kill the head terrorist, all the rest of them turn back to normal. Like Taliban Twilight. Just loads of sweaty blokes with bombs strapped to them around the world, just snapping out of it, going, oh, fuck, what? Was that gonna... That's it, Keith, I feel like a right dick. They elected Barack Obama, curing racism forever. And all you got to do is look at any American street and you know for a fact they cured anorexia a long time ago. Yeah, they've got a lot of debt. They have. They mentioned that. They've got a lot of debt. They're the most in-debt country in the world. But what's the best mate that you've got? Is it your mate who's got all his savings sorted and he's got his ISA and he's got his nest egg for the future? Or is it your mate who goes out on 10 quid, drinks the dregs at the club bar, gets pissed up and comes home in someone else's shoes? That's who you want to hang around with. They've not had the day. They are on the up and they are the future. So for me, it's mission accomplished, tango down, God bless America. And for Red, it's #fail. Vote blue.
Well done.
Next up, supporting the statement on behalf of the red team, it's Sean Walsh.
The USA has had its day. Of course the USA has had its day. Never mind that it's facing debt it can't repay. Never mind its failed foreign policy. Never mind the advance of China. If you want proof that America is in decline, just turn on E4 and see your reaction when Friends comes on. Oh, bollocks, it's one of the later ones. I mean, it's hard to pinpoint at the exact moment of when America lost its way, but I think it's some point in between Series 5 and Series 6, when Chandler went into a cliffhanger skinny and came out the other end fat. But then America has lost its way. It started with such promise. It forgot what made it great. Like Friends, Ross and Rachel is what made it great. Then some American writer came along and said, hey, maybe what we should do is we should get rid of Ross and Rachel and replace it with Joey and Rachel. What the fuck are you doing? Or as Chandler would say in Series 4, oh, come on! And I'm not just so shallow as to compare the downfall of America to the downfall of what could have been a great sitcom. No, their films are shit as well. All they do is make prequels now. Just make a new film, an original film. Right now, I reckon they're making a prequel of Dude, Where's My Car? It's called Dude. Should we leave it here? Whatever happened to the great American icons as well? When the USA was a mighty force, the whole planet worshipped American stars. Brando, Marilyn Monroe, Jimmy Dean, Audrey Hepburn, Katharine Hepburn. What do they have now? Bieber. Yeah. He's got a poster of him in his bedroom. Talk about the American dream turning into a nightmare. Don't vote Bieber, vote Red.
So, Robert, Jack, have you got anything to say in support your teammates' arguments?
Well, I don't agree with this nonsense that they've ended the war on terror. I travelled recently on a plane, and they still took away my toiletries. And I was like, madam, I don't know whether you've read the news. Osama bin Laden is now dead. The war on terror is run, and I now need to win the war on dry skin, so I will be taking these out. And I wasn't allowed them onto the plane.
I think the USA's had its day because the whole point in America used to be that we hated them, right? But now the two most powerful people in America are Barack Obama and Bill Gates. It's quite nice blokes. That's why they've had to invite Piers Morgan and Simon Cowell up there to outsource their wankers.
I point out as well that although Chris's argument was absolutely wonderful, in America no one would understand it because he's a Geordie.
That was Cheryl Cole's problem, wasn't it? That was Cheryl's problem.
Yeah.
They didn't even realise she was a Geordie. They just thought she had throat cancer.
No, of course America's still... This is big. They do everything more bigly.
More bigly.
Much more bigly. They've got the bigliest... they've got the biggest weather, they've got the biggest canyons, they've got the biggest trousers. Their trousers are enormous.
If I was a voter, I would say, so far, I haven't really had a convincing argument that America's had its day from this team, other than that Friends wasn't. I mean, I couldn't really enjoy that because I've never watched an episode of Friends. But what about China, for example? You know, China, I think that's what the debate was supposed to be about. That's the fact that China is now, will soon be the more powerful economy. I mean, they've bought Africa. I think they got it on eBay for about 8 pence. So that's what it's about.
Yeah, but I don't think Chinese Friends would work.
I admire your bloody persistence. I mean, I don't mind the Chinese taking over the world, as long as they don't expect us all to work as hard as them. There's no way I'm doing a 12-hour shift in a yo-yo factory. So it's time for the audience to decide who made the best case. Vote red if you agree with Sean, or blue if Chris convinced you that the USA has not had its day. Vote now. What I'm amazed is there's some red ones up there. Have you got family in? So that looks like a victory for the blue team. Well done, Robert and Chris.
Very well done.
Well done.
Good work. Pretty well.
Right, next up is slideshow. One member of each team will again debate a controversial issue, but I want them to illustrate their argument using a series of pictures they've never seen before. Jack and Chris will play this one. Jack, I'd like you to start by arguing that women's magazines should be banned.
Yes. Look at them, there, reading their magazine, distracted by the pool. What you can't see in that picture is that behind them, one of their children is drowning in that pool, dying, and they are busy reading some shitty article about what's in someone's bag. This is what they have, isn't it? Called What's in Amy Charles's handbag, lip gloss, and a little pendant with her name on it so she doesn't forget how to spell the fucking thing. They're really interesting celebrities as well. What's in the bag? I'd be interested if it was like, what's in Subo's bag? Cat shit and a knife. That would be... Yeah, we could burn them. We could use them for fuel. That'd be a good use of them. Like, well, they're not... That's probably not for fuel, is it? That's probably for hate. But they're good for that as well. They're good if you want to hate things, like this next slide, which is going to be something pretty hateful. Yeah. Correct. And the next slide Look at that woman. She's not conscious of her body. She looks like a dick, and she's happy about that. We don't want women's magazines making women feel inadequate with, like, the ring of shame. The ring of shame is ludicrous, that they have in Heat. Little ring of shame circles, like, a 50-year-old woman that's got a bit of cellulite. That's nothing to be ashamed of. You're a 50-year-old woman. You get cellulite, OK? That's just a bit embarrassing. A celebrity ring of shame is, I don't know, the ring Jack Tweed used to propose to his wife in order to get cut into her will. Right. And women are made to feel like they want to look like that, like a mannequin with the nice big breasts and the perfect body, and I think that's unfair, all right? Ladies, don't listen to the women's magazines. They send out the wrong image, they make you feel conscious about your bodies, and they pick on people. That woman Sonia from EastEnders, every week she's on the front of Heat, and it's like, oh, Sonia, look how fat she is, look how fat she's got, eating all of her pudding, and the next week, she's anorexic, and she's on the front of Heat again. It's like, why is she not eating anything? Why is she so thin? Look at her with her silly, skinny body. Why has she done that? She's done that because of you, Heat. So back the fuck off. Vote red and let Sonia eat cake.
Thank you, Jack. Yeah, very committed. You don't like them, do you?
Poor Natalie Cassidy. If she wants to duck into a Greggs, have a Greggs. Yeah. Don't let Heat make
I don't
you
think
feel
that's a
bad
good
about
thing
it.
about them. It keeps women in their place by making them feel inferior.
Yes,
Shit,
Dad.
did I say... Oh, fuck, said it. Because men don't... No, it's true. Men don't read magazines that make them feel insecure, do they? No men's magazine. They make you feel like part of the club, like I'm into fishing, or I'm into customising cars, or if I like zoo, I'm into wanking.
What I hate about them is when they put them in garages and they put like all these Zoo magazines and FHM, you've got all these women with tits, and you walk into the garages, you try not to look at them, but the bloke working there always sees you just walk in and do that look where you walk in and go...
I've never understood why they sell porn in garages. I don't understand. I've never understood. Who drives along going, I fancy a wank?
I don't know why all the women's magazines, even though they're aimed at women, why they all got sex names. Like Heat, More, Now,
Hello.
Closer.
Take a break.
All right, 4 of them.
OK, Chris, you're up next, and I'd like you to argue that gambling should be banned.
Hello. Yes. Gambling should definitely be banned. It's not good. It rots the mind. It doesn't make you lose concentration on other things. Look at these women. They're gambling so much they've forgot to do the hoovering. Look. That's actually nothing to do with gambling. That just looks like it's a photo of the Saturdays in the future. There's 5 slappers dredging through the rubbish looking for chips. If you gamble, you could end up with nothing. You could end up desperate. You're desperate and trying your hardest. Like these 2 chancers trying to orchestrate another famine just to boost their career. Oh, fuck. I hear you say, Chris, widen your argument. Expand it. Get stuck in. The financial monopoly men in Borat mankinis. The bankers. The bankers played with our... Gambled with our... Look at you nodding so happily. You're nearly there, son. Go on. Sound the word out. Look at the front. That guy has got... Where is his penis? It's an arse on the front. He's got a thong on the front. What is that? He's gambling with his circulation, by the looks of it.
I do a bit of online gambling. I bought a mattress on eBay.
I don't like online gambling at all because you know the poker adverts? When you watch pornographic material on the internet, every single time a little window comes up for poker, and it's always Phil Tufnell advertising pornography, which is really hard because if you just...
Pornography or gambling?
Well, this is where the confusion lies. Because you're there watching pornography, and then you click cross on the window...
You don't need to keep doing the action.
Sorry. You're there watching pornography, and then you click down the window, and Phil Tufnell's there, and the problem is now it's the norm for me. So like, I was having sex with my girlfriend the other day, and I leant over and knocked on the remote, and it came on, and it was Question of Sport. She was like, should we turn it off? I was like, actually, keep it on for a little bit. I think I need to see Phil Tufnell's face now in order to ejaculate.
And also, you've got to think about it, if they did ban gambling, what would footballers waste their money on? They'd have to waste it on, like, experimental theatre production. Yes, we're doing Caucasian chalk circle in a swimming pool. John and Wayne are very excited about this production. OK, we're going to have a little vote now, see who did best. So it's time for the audience to decide who made the best case. It's a red card for Jack and a blue one for Chris. Please vote now. Clear. Victory for the Reds. Well done, Jack.
Thank you. Well done.
Join us after the break when this man reveals all.
It's come to the point that something drastic has to be done, and if it's sent it to another country, to another family, I'll do it.
I'm horrified and disgusted with you. I'm sure as from today, they will take life positively and they will do right for themselves.
Growing up with a little help from the world's strictest parents. Wednesday at 9, new to Really.
No matter how many times we see it, we still just can't get enough.
Play it nice and cool, son. Nice and cool, you know what I mean? Nice and cool, you know what I mean? This time next year, we'll be millionaires. We'll be millionaires.
Right, Grandad, we're ready.
It's unfair to say that everything he touches goes wrong. Catch the best episodes of Only Fools and Horses.
Let's go!
Again. All this bank holiday weekend on Gold.
Ready for action. Let's hope it's big enough. Can I have my Johnny back? May I have my Johnny back? May I have my Johnny back? Yes.
Extras, Series 2, Friday at 10 on Dave.
OK, it's on to our live guest round. And to help us get to the heart of the next debate, welcome tonight's special guest, Kieran Hayler.
He's not even the guest.
There we go. It's not my birthday, it's Robert's.
Is he a real naval officer?
Yes. Do you know, Jack, he could be court-martialed for this. So you're Kieran, you're a professional stripper, aren't you?
I am, yep.
How long have you been doing that?
About a year and a half now.
I suppose you have to be professional, though. If you're an amateur, they just chuck you out the pub. OK, the statement I want you to argue is this. All men want to be sex objects. First up, arguing that men do not want to be sex objects, it's Robert.
Very, super duper.
It's talking to me, it's talking to me. It wants us to come in.
Okie dokie, let's, Jesus Christ, let's get through this. Right. Now, of course, men do not want to be sex objects. Just look at their shoes. Look at George Clooney's... Of course, men do not want to be sex objects. George Clooney, very sexy man. Does he totter around in 4-inch heels, you know, with a miniskirt on, going, look at my calves, look at my thighs? No, well, Thursdays. Men don't need to. Look at the way they dance. OK, sometimes in Latin America, you know, dance is seen as a healthy form of male erotic display. That's not how we do it. We go... That's not erotic display, that's erotic constipation. I think that when Kieran's doing his act, the way he gets it wrong about exploitation is that he looks all happy. He'll be there going, da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da, you like a bit of this, da-da-da-da-da, yeah-da-da-da, I can make it go round like that, I can make it go anti-clockwise. The women, they're not doing it properly either, because they're having a great time. They're going, yeah, come on, we've come to see some arse, maybe some cock. Ha, ha, ha. No, no, that's not proper objectification. No, what you want is for men to go to this windowless basement run by East European gangsters, and it smells of fetid upholstery and bad aftershave and a million furtive pocket-based wanks. And it's full of women who are basically going, da-da-da, right, yeah, I wonder what I'm going to get the kids for tea. You like that? Yeah, you like that, do you? Yeah. I think I've got some fish fingers in the freezer. No, none of that. Men make lousy sex objects because women are too nice. Yes, I know women that you're checking Kieran out, you're looking at him. Of course you're looking at his body. He hasn't got any clothes on. But women, they're also wondering, you know, what's he like? Would he mind if you pinched his chips or if you knackered his printer? They're thinking about it. So in conclusion, not this. Not this. This. Vote blue.
Thank you, Robert. I'm just going to leave you there for a while, so Chris...
I think I can see the back of his bollocks.
It'll be odd if
oh,
you... Oh,
come on! Next up, opposing Robert and arguing that men do want to be sex objects, it's Jack.
Just before I go in, when I do a debate, I do a little warm-up thing before. If you just follow me, Nick, just start with the neck because it just to sort of loosen up because it really helps. And then I go for this. If you just follow it, that's what we do.
No. Oh God. Oh, for this.
That's it.
That's it. Yeah.
It's quite a short show.
Yeah, it's ready.
OK, so, Kieran. Bloody Kieran. So, I'm just going to take advantage of this. This is the only time I've ever been able to touch a stripper and not get thrown out the venue. So... Look at Kieran, here he is, with his Herculean frame, draped in skin so soft it's like finely cut Persian silk. Who wouldn't want to be a sex object looking like that? I want to be a sex object, and I look like this. Underpants adverts, I always think, are a good example of this. Underpants adverts, they're not selling underpants, are they? When you see Cristiano Ronaldo there in his little pants, up on the billboards with his body, similar to Kieran's, with its muscular torso, undulating, rippling muscles that look like the bouncing waves of the storm-kissed Indian Ocean, they're not there to sell you underpants. When you see him there and it's all like, oh yeah, for a man who is a man that looks like he might be into other men, but he's not because he's a real man. Apporio Armani. That doesn't sell you pants. If you want to buy pants, the advert would be something that you could relate to as men. It would be a guy with a little bit of a beer gut and some stained pants with a nice slogan like, if you buy these boxer shorts, you won't get that weird blue fluff on your cock. What they're there to do is to make us want to look like Kieran. And who would not want to look like Kieran? With his wonderful body and his beautiful arms and his buttocks that look like two unbruised peaches in a pre-Raphaelite still life. I want to look like Kieran. I don't want to have a body that looks like the kind of body a child would design one of its enemies. I want to look like him, with his wonderful, wonderful arms. And beautiful eyes as well. I think it's ridiculous that there are only women's channels on Sky for the Babe Station with the shaky. I think it's ridiculous.
Don't worry, it's etched in there. You didn't need to do it.
When you got the woman and you come home and you accidentally press on the Sky channel and then accidentally put in your Sky PIN number and the woman's there, do you want to talk dirty to girls in your area? I don't want to talk dirty to girls in my area. I'd like them to be as far away as possible because I don't want to bump into any of them. You know, if I'm shopping in Tesco's with my mum for the weekly shop, I don't want the woman behind the checkout till recognising my voice. Oh, look, there's Jack. He wanted to put an unattended item in my bagging area, which I do. What I'm saying is that I think there should be a version for women, with men as sex objects. There should be man station. If you're, like Madam Mayor, if you've gone out with your friends to an all-bar wine, you've had a couple of glasses of white wine, you come home feeling a little bit horny, there should be a channel for you with a guy called Terry who can tell you about his nutsack over the phone. Or Kieran. Kieran could tell you about his nutsack and his penis, which I imagine is sinuous and curvaceous as a mythological asp and dangles with all the grace of one of Ganesh's trunks. Show Daddy. Show Daddy. Yep. You get a little bit of a look there. It is very big. My next point, which is now completely gone from my mind, because I believe it's been replaced in my mind by a sight that I will find very hard to get out of my mind. My final point was... sorry, it's a bit of a mouthful. What I'm saying is that we should aspire to this. We should want to be sex objects. All of us men, yeah, with our silly little bodies, we should want to be like Kieran. We should want that, because that makes us feel empowered. That's why men strip, because it makes them feel it. It does. Look, Kieran, look. Yeah. Yeah. See? How empowered do I feel right now? Admittedly, less empowered than I thought I'd feel. Can I borrow your hat? I'm going to end my argument by saying a vote for the red team is a vote for aspiration, ladies and gentlemen. It's a vote to you as men wanting... Get off them, Sean! Don't touch the stripper! If you vote for us, you're voting for aspiration, you're voting for physical perfection. Vote red!
Thanks, Jack. And a big round of applause to Kieran. Thank you very much. Sean, Chris, you got anything to say in support of your teammates?
I don't think all men would want to be sex objects. I genuinely don't. I mean, he was just objectified there. I mean, to be fair, it was just that part of his body that was actually a male stripper. If you noticed, if you look at him, his legs, he had, like, the legs of a gardener and the face of a fucking paper boy. He was...
Oh! I see you say that now.
Sorry, man. He's oiled up, he'll never get us. I'll just
What do you think he'd be slipping all over like Keystone Cops?
and everyone hates him. I mean, most men, when he walked in, right, looking absolutely fantastic, most men in this room went, prick. Straight away. Every single one. His mirror probably goes, wanker.
You're sharing a car with him.
I think men want to be sex objects. That could be the only reason that men go to the gym. That's why they use all those ridiculous machines. It's not in case one day we get chased by a bloke on a bicycle, then on a rowing boat.
Or some kind of contraption where you need to do that to power it. Whenever in life do you need to go... When you've got really heavy curtains. I'd lean towards this argument because I think nearly everything men do is designed to attract women.
I think men do want to be sex objects. Men apparently think about sex every 7 seconds, which means that the average man thinks about sex twice during sex.
But you say you're not a sex object, but you are, obviously. Obviously you objectify. All the book learning, all that. You're not kidding.
You with your book learning?
Yeah, you're not... That's all designed to get a bit of the sort of honey-dripping, finger-licking sweet stuff, isn't it? You're not kidding anyone with all your equations and your sonnets. It's just about getting down with the... It's about the tallywhacker, isn't it?
It is.
They shouldn't call it Oxbridge, they should call it Pussy School.
Yeah, it does work, yeah. But there's a difference between wanting someone to knob you and wanting to be a sex object, wanting someone to think, oh, he's someone, I'll think about sex with him, but I won't think about anything else.
Well, that's within your limitations, though, isn't it?
I speak for myself, Sean. I speak as a fine.
You can't get a body like Kieran, so you've got to go and read books.
Whereas you...
It's really sad,
sat behind a desk making jokes.
Yeah. Well, which is what I'm paid for.
I think
Thank fuck I read the contract.
I think all men should be sex objects and want to be sex objects, though, regardless of whether they look like Kieran or not. Because I think if I wanted to have a man, I wouldn't want Chris Ramsey, all nice, hair's done, probably smells good, great, but I wouldn't want that in the throes of passion. That fella down there, front row, with the beard, I'd want you on top of me, and I want to feel your hot, bear-like breath on my eyeballs. The kind of guy that would come on your chest and then punch you in the face.
Well, in that case, mate, you are looking for a Geordie, and there's one right here.
I like everyone's just so loose tonight.
Kieran wasn't.
So, it's time for the audience to vote. Once again, the audience will decide who made the best case. It's a blue card for Robert and Chris, and a red card for Sean and Jack. Vote now.
He pulled on his trousers. Oh, God. That'll do it.
Definitely a win for the red team, which means that tonight's winners are the red team. So thanks to tonight's guests, Jack Whitehall, Chris Ramsey, and to Sean and Robert. Good night.